Keep 100% of your claim. G4 Claims.
If you've been hurt in a road accident that wasn't your fault, you should really talk to G4 Claims first. Unlike road accident solicitors, we don't charge you for our services, which could see you better off. To keep 100% of your compensation, have a chat with Nicole and the team. You'll be glad you did. Search online for G4 Claims.
Keep 100% of your claim. G4 Claims.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Sellik the Thunder podcast. A much more somber edition of the show today. Despite Calum holding back a smile, Dylan trying not to laugh, and Kieran showing his teeth, we're actually not that happy, you know. And I don't think many Celtic fans are after the week that we've had. But we'll get on to it. It's nice to be back here downstairs today in the G4 Claims studio, going for the 2-camera setup. Fancy. Remember we were talking about experimenting this season. We must be through like 10 of the different forms that we could possibly do.
I mean, we stuck with the one format, didn't we, up the stair for a wee while, but
we papped it to the. Oh well. Anyway, on that note, it's getting to introducing my guests. I'll start with Kieran, since you just chipped in a little bit there. How you doing? Let's take the result. When I go down the table here and ask you all how you are, let's take Tuesday out of the equation, right? Kieran, how are you?
not good.
Why is that?
I mean, alright, to be fair, just been usual shite, isn't it? Going to work, watching Sellik in the Champions League.
Yep.
And then fucking just everything else in life, isn't it? But
Getting in the way.
I don't want to talk about it, man.
You wait till we get to the Twitter questions today, Kieran. We're going to make this an hour of nothing but cheer and joy.
Oh, good.
Sunshine, lollipops and rainbows. Across the table I have Calum. Calum, how are you doing?
Kind of not too bad, same as Kieran's, kind of walking away, plodding along and having to part with Celtic in Europe.
This is probably, I think, your last episode for a couple of weeks.
Obviously international, we won't bother, and then away.
You're
and
away?
then come back, it's Atlanta.
Yeah. So, I mean, everybody wish Calum his best as he jets off to the Big Apple. New York, yeah. You buzzing?
I'm looking forward to it. I think it's just one of the ones when I get booked now, fucking ages away. But now I'm a 2-week time.
Right.
Looking forward to going, looking forward to eating away and pizza and such.
Sal slices. Corner over a slice. And across from me, we have on his second. By the way, thank you everybody, mostly everybody anyway, for the reception that you gave Dylan his first episode. Well done, Dylan.
I appreciate it.
You've done well in your first episode. You glad to be back?
Other than the result, aye. It's like probably the rare time you don't want to talk about Sellik, but aye, it's good to be back.
Did you enjoy your first time experience on the show? How was that?
It was actually quite good. Like, I was reading the comments and most of them were alright, so
Aye.
tell my pals, I can't complain.
I've seen you got called knowledgeable a few times. Maybe the
Aye.
first person on this show to ever be called
I
knowledgeable.
think Kenny's ever had that.
So you run up the rest there, still.
Aye, I'll take it. Well,
Aye.
hopefully it stays like that. But even though I failed the quiz and I'm still going at it, so
To
I'll
be
take it.
fair,
Well, not failed, but you know what I mean.
we were even talking about the quiz at the. Were we at home at the weekend? No, we were at St Johnson. We were at St Johnson, and when we were on the bus to St Johnson, we were talking about the quiz, and I still can't get all the honkers that you got getting. You were getting a stinking leg of questions, to be fair.
I know, I was like, go down the middle, pick B, but hopefully better.
Learn from your mistakes today. We do have a full-time quiz. We do have a half-time quiz. We have everything that we normally would on the normal editions of the show. I want to plug something that we don't normally plug, and I'm going to start plugging it more because I've been listening to a lot of podcasts recently, and especially, I mean, he's not going to see this, so I was going to say shout out to Chris Van Fleet as if he's going to watch this show, but I listen to his podcast a lot, and he always makes it an effort to plug the fact that please go to Spotify and make sure to rate us 5 stars. If you are listening on Spotify, it would go a long way in helping us be one of the more reputable Celtic podcasts on that platform. I think right now we might have about 70 odd reviews, something like
last I
that.
checked it.
70 odd reviews. We want to have much more than that. For a show that gets, at least 6,000-7,000 views every week on YouTube, we want to have as many reviews as we do views, so please head over to Spotify, give us 5 stars, leave us a review, and let the people know how good a podcast this actually is. So, what are you sort of sucking for your team for?
I wouldn't watch us, man.
The people say different. Anyway, it's time to get into business. We want to try and wrap up today as quickly as possible, and we'll get on to the Thunder Club and have more talk there. But Celtic went to Dortmund through the week, and things did not go according to plan. The optimism and the ambition of the Celtic fans was crushed in Dortmund as we lost 7-1. Still a horrible scoreline to hear said aloud. Where does one begin? Because we don't want to look back. We want to look forward. Sadly, on this show, we need to look back. I'm going to go in a nice kind of clockwise fashion. I'll start with you, Dylan. Where do we begin?
We could talk about St Johnstone first, if you want.
Let's go positive, shall we? I wish we could, but there was a big kind of, I don't know the word to use, but it was kind of the downside of our season that maybe we weren't expecting. Everything's been so positive. This has kind of derailed us a wee bit. What was your instant reaction to the result on Tuesday night?
I mean, I think it's just the way we all went into it, hoping we would get something. I think it hurts me, Ryan, at the fact first loss of the season, and it was in that circumstance. But I don't think any Celtic fan, even if you thought we were going to beat, I don't think we expected a 7-1. But
when the equaliser went in, I don't know about you, but I was like, oh great, game on, and then bang.
I think I was still celebrating equaliser when they went up and scored, so I was like, oh, that's no good. Then 5-1 at half time, I was like, just got to stay at the bar, mate, just leave, might just get home.
Oh, were you out for it, aye?
Just went to the local.
Aye. Look at you could drown your sorrows away. I was sat with my dad, he was screaming at the tape, I'm not watching that, I refuse to watch that. Calum, instant reactions, I suppose. That's what I just want to get first.
I think, as Dan touched on, it's a bit annoying, obviously, first loss of the season. Not as if I was expecting us to go and win 7-1, but I think it's annoying, but at least it's out the way you've had the loss. I think it's just the manner it was in. And I think if you went over and you get beat a 2-3-1, you're like, do you know what, fair enough, it's respectable, but it's getting in 5-1 at half time, just damage limitations, second half.
Because it's a European Cup finalist at the end of the day. They were in the final for a reason, they're one of the best teams in Europe, and you can expect us to go over and lose, but as you said, it's the manner of it. It just kind of, you were hoping this was maybe the year that Rodgers would be able to eliminate those big losses, the fact that we did invest and do all these things that we've asked the club to do, but then it still happened. So that hurts, doesn't it?
Oh, 100%. I think it's, as you said, the fact that we have went and then spent the money. I'm not saying I'm expecting Engels to be the man that somehow plays in every position, becomes a one-man army. But again, when we have seen the money being spent, and then I think obviously we'll touch on like the team and such, but when you've seen the lineup, you're a bit like, where a certain player been dropped, but yeah, I think it's just kind of, we need to just sort of get over it. I think it was Peter Schmeichel was talking about it after it, and he said he obviously went and spoke with Casper and basically said, you need to be one of the figures now that it goes, gets the players back together, rallies them, and he's just going from there.
Hopefully he does. Kieran, take it away.
I mean,
you've been holding back.
There's a lot of things you could touch on here. I mean, the main thing I've seen on TikTok, Twitter's been like maybe a sort of tactical naivety for Rodgers going into the game, but you also see two sides as well, because we spoke about how, like, before the game, do we sit in, we might as well go for it. I'm pretty sure every one of us uttered the words, I'd rather get pumped going for it than now here we are, went for it, pumped, raging. I'm like that, so you really cannot win, but I'm like, if we went out and sat back, we'd have been just as raging. I don't think any way you could have set up. It was just an absolute hammering by a team that were obviously streets ahead of where we want to be, and I mean, it kind of showed us up a wee bit, because I feel like this happens usually with us. If we start well with the season, you get kind of humbled a wee bit. I mean, I don't think we had to be humbled that hard, but
There's an aspect maybe of coming up. I used the term we came up against a sort of kind of wounded animal. I think that there was maybe an aspect of that Dortmund maybe being fed up of folk going like, they haven't been great, they've been shite. Celtic are going to go there and get a result, and maybe, Nuri Sahin and the lads have just went, fuck that. We're going to fuck them. And
boy, did they.
And sorry, pardon my French, but I mean, that is what it was. It was a royal shagging at the end of the day.
Like, we just crumbled completely in every aspect. So many players just went, posted up missing for that game, and then defensively as well. It's just typical Celtic in Europe. Schoolboy errors. I'm sure we'll go into touch on individual players, but I mean, you've got people that really got shown up again at that level. I don't want to be hanging about Greg Taylor as well, because I've been very happy with the way he's been playing this season, but then when you take that next step up, you can see the fragilities within the team, and like where teams are obviously going to look at on the pitch and say, right, we'll pinpoint that, and they got a lot of success doing both flanks as well, to be fair. That's not even trying to absolve the rest of them of the blame, and I don't know, there's a lot of question marks getting thrown about the now, but I think it's important, issues we're talking about, to sort of rally and not let this derail the good start we've had to the season.
I want you just to listen. It's one of those games where I feel like I could come round the table with questions, but please just jump in whenever you like. One of the big things Kieran touched on though was tactical. Like, you used the word frailty, which was
tactical naivety.
But you did use the word
like
frailty.
fragility.
Yeah, fragility. That's what I was looking for. Sorry, and it did. It felt very frail, very fragile. Just very naive of us to go and play the way that we did, Dylan. I think that maybe that does raise the question of, right, does Rodgers now need to reassess how he approaches these games? Does the ego maybe need to go to the side, and now we need to address these games in a more, I don't want to use the word professional, because I don't think it's as if we were unprofessional the other night, but just in a way that maybe suits these elite opponents with a bit more respect.
Yeah, I think as well, it's a hard one, because obviously, as Kieran says, like, you can do two different sides to it. Obviously, we've seen when we done it to Barca, like they beat us 7-0 years ago, we sat in, and it's still with we get caught out. But it's like, we've seen it at least once a season now. We're getting these big defeats, like 6-0 Atletico, the 5-1 Real. This is with Ange as well, so it's not just Rodgers. But I think it's like, when we keep saying we need to learn, it's like, I feel I wish Rodgers had maybe a plan B and C's now and again, because it's like, you've seen how every time they went forward, it looked like they were going to score. So it's like, I don't know, and they've been clinical. It's not just Celtic being really bad in that, but some of this is a world class team we're up against, and some of the goals you've seen are world class as well, but a lot of it was their fault. So I don't know, but I think it's good that it happened early, if that makes sense, because you can watch it back. The players said that.
I get you. It's like, you know, we've learnt the lesson. Well, you know what? That's been one of the mixed receptions, hasn't it? It's like we're fed up of the old fucking, we need to learn for this. Or
I don't think we can learn for it.
Evidently we can. We're the high school dunce.
Like, would you genuinely learn for it? Like, we're fucking mince at this level. Like, obviously you can realise where you're going to need to adapt in that, but we've seen time and time again we don't adapt. It's the same story every season. There seems to be at least one of these results, and I mean, it's just so frustrating, because I think this one, I've seen people saying it, and I think I agree with it, that this one stings more than the PSG.
Is that because of the optimism?
The optimism, and I mean, what Dortmund are a world class team, Champions League finalists, but see, I think the annoying thing is, it's like, see, when you looked at the teams like Barca pumped his way and PSG, on paper they were like, what are they fucking skidded us? Look at this name. Dortmund's one of the ones where it hurts me, because they're just playing in a really good system. They've got obviously class players, but I know every one of them's a household name exactly across world football. So when you go into it, you give yourself that optimism that, I know, like, look at the team, look at the lineup they're putting out, still put 7 past us, so I suppose that's maybe naivety on our parts as well, for sort of underestimating the level of opposition we're coming up against.
Calum, where do you think we went wrong in the game from a footballing point of view? What were the biggest mistakes of Rodgers? Because I think Dylan made a very good point in the sense that, you know, sometimes a plan B, C, maybe D, maybe Z is needed. And it didn't feel like Celtic necessarily changed as the game went on. I didn't notice any systematic changes. It felt like we were just doing the same thing from the first minute to the last. Maybe the last kind of 10-20 minutes we went, right, fuck this, we'll maybe camp a wee bit more in. But what went wrong specifically, footballing wise, in the park on Tuesday, do you think?
The minute they came in the tunnel.
Bang tracksuit on.
No, I think it does just come down to, as Dan touched on, see the minute, obviously they get through, they get the penalty, but then you score right after, and like, right, we've got ourselves, we're right back level for the game kicked off. Let's just try and hold this for a bit. But it was literally again 2 minutes later. You can see how high up we are in the park, and it's just cut a pass and boom, we're through again.
We're too open. For me, I think especially you could see in the midfield they kept letting Julian Brandt or even Guirassy drop deep, and they were in acres of space, and you'd think that maybe somebody would pick them up, but there was almost like a refusal to do it.
I think it was it's a replay for the third goal. That's when you're then looking at like Calum McGregor, for example. You think he's supposed to be this anchor player that realistically could split into a back three and leave your two centre halves to then sort of cover your wing backs, but then again he's just jogging back almost.
Aye.
It's a bit annoying to see. Obviously, I'm not saying I expect them to be sprints 90 minutes all the way through, but that's when you're back in it one each. You're like, right, let's try and bring a bit of defensive into it. So it's just kind of, it's annoying to see it because you can pick out, but again, I suppose that's just hindsight in it. You can see it at the time, can't see it in the park.
Hindsight's 2020, as they say. There's something Cal McGregor's been the first one touched on here. Well, actually, Taylor was touched on as well by Kieran, but as far as individuals go, there was just so many that let us down the other night. I mean, where do you start? Who do you start with, really? And it's like, I always hate feeling like you're bullying a specific player, because at the end of the day, you don't lose 7-1 because one player's shite.
Nah, it's a collective thing.
But the manager's to blame, the team's to blame, everybody's got to take
obviously
blame.
Certain players, I feel like, I was going to say, certain players are obviously more noteworthy than others in terms of no showing up in the game, but I was about to name one. I was like, and him. You've got players that you've paid the money for people at angles. I'm not going to go out and say hangy, but like, you're paying the money for him. You were hoping he was going to be the player to sort of elevate us up a wee bit in these games, show that we can play with the ball, good bit of quality in the midfield. And you could tell within the first 5 minutes on Tuesday night that midfield was just getting completely bypassed, overrun. Like, they weren't even in the game whatsoever. And I'm not even going to turn around and say, if Hatate started, it would have been completely different. It wouldn't have been, because the team we were up against were just far better than us. But you seen when Hatate came on, I think it was you that said it in the chat, Ryan. Like, he's on the park 2 minutes, first risk we take all game, we get a shot and goal. Like,
It's just a shame it was on his left foot, because if it was on his right foot, genuinely might have had a chance at scoring a
we
goal.
might have had a chance at 7-2.
Exactly. But that's it. We're missing that risk, weren't we? We're missing that, maybe. I mean, I do what, Dylan. I don't mean to be a bad man here, but it's your fault. You came on the show last week. Favourite players, Calum McGregor.
I know, and it's his first biggest stinker in a long time. So I was saying that as well. He's before the Falkirk game when we got a bit of scare at 70 minutes. I was like, I can't show up to this podcast, man. Never talk here. Start with 7 man. So sorry, boys.
Ireland in the sun. It was disappointing from McGregor. It was disappointing from a few other individuals. I don't know. Well, maybe cover a couple of other things before I get to shifting the focus to the next few games. But yeah, Dylan, Kieran touched on Hatate there, and that's what point I want to bring up. Do you think that he would have been a wiser choice to start the game?
I mean, it's a hard one, because I think going into this game, I feel like that was the biggest debate, wasn't it? It was like Bernardo hadn't really done a fit Rang this season, Hatate as well, but it's like, it was the first time all season I'd kind of been stumped. I didn't really know who we should start. I didn't mind. I said to my dad, I didn't mind who start. I'm not going to just kid on now that because Bernardo wasn't the best that I wanted to start. But he did look better when he came on. But as Kieran said as well, I don't think it would have changed the result. But I think it hurts me as well that the 6-0 St Johnstone, like this season, I feel like, see when we're playing at our best, the whole team's playing at our best. And the one time we've lost like this, the whole team, like, there's not really many you can pick that was good. So it's like we're all losing together, like at the same time being bad, if that makes sense.
I get what you mean.
So it's like, I don't know, but
and that's, I will, do you know what, I'll shift to what I want to come on to next, because we are already 20 minutes through the show, I suppose, and I don't know, we'll end up bloody blowing our brains out if we keep going the way we're going here. How important, and I don't want to become the guy that's going to be like happy clapper FC, like, it's okay guys, let's just fucking pick ourselves up and go again. But how important is it now? And Calum, I'll let you start, because you actually did kind of touch on this about, you know, picking ourselves up and moving forward. Straight after the game finishing Tuesday night, I went onto YouTube to do my match reaction. There was so many people across the comment section there, across social media in general, who have probably threw in the towel. They're like, do you know what, we should just exit the competition if we can. We should give up. We're terrible. I'm not looking forward to any of the coming 6 games. And, you know, a lot of people are forgetting the really good work that we've done against Slovan Bratislava, which is fair, because do you know what? After a game like that, you probably don't want to remember the positives. You're kind of so downtrodden. But how important is it now that we just, you know, we focus on moving forward and we learn going into Atalanta maybe what to do differently? But generally, just how important is it for us to just look at things more positively? Because if we get so negative, it's not going to get any better, is it?
No, I think, as you said, obviously you don't want to seem like you're the full happy clapper FC type, but it's the worst thing you can do is continue on that negative mindset. Yes, obviously it is a big defeat, obviously it's not ideal, but you do just kind of need to brush past it. It's done with now. It's not as if you can change that result in any way. It's as if we can say, they'd about 4 eligible players, no, give that result back. I think you put that in the chat, Kieran. I think you're pissing that. I hope they've got the guys going to play on the park just to bring a real difference down.
There's always a danger. You don't want to get complacent, Gav. It's not like, suddenly we go to Dingwall at the weekend, we win 5-0 and everything's back to normal. No, of course, we've got to still realise what went wrong. But there is always going to be a balance there between, getting back on track domestically and then, taking that into Europe for the next game.
Definitely. I think it is a case of, it's nice, hopefully, obviously, we'll touch on obviously the weekend, but it'd be nice to go up there, get the result. Players obviously go into an international break, they go away and do their stuff and then come back and hopefully get into a strong game with Aberdeen.
I think it is Europe again next. Right,
so obviously it'd be ideal. Again, obviously we'll touch on that closer to the time, but to a result there and then kind of keep the players' momentum going into Europe.
Maybe Aberdeen will actually do us a favour. You know that? Like, it might sound daft to say, right, but you know how one of the main criticisms that comes out after pumpings like this is like, it doesn't help that we play in Scotland and we're fucking playing, Ross County and St Johnstone are hardly ideal preparation for a European game. Maybe Aberdeen will be ideal preparation for a European game. They're doing well enough. But
I suppose.
It's because it's not, one of the things that's fucking annoyed me all week is like, I think of what it must be like being like a Las Palmas fan, right? And it's like, fucking
McBurney and Fabio Silva.
No, right, take that outside of the equation for a bit, right? But like, imagine being a Las Palmas fan and like every year or couple of years or something, you get like a big result against one of the big teams, and it's like, or even you go to the big teams and you lose maybe like 2-1, and it's like if Celtic were to draw Las Palmas in European competition, you'd be buzzing because it's a very winnable game. So how the fuck are they got to these places and not getting scalped 6-0? But we are. And it isn't just down to genuinely them playing a very higher level of football week in, week out, so they're prepared for this quality. That must be the answer to the question. So like, I can fathom.
I mean,
after that, we are just much shiter than we think.
I mean, these results always bring about the same conversations about like budgets, and then you've got the fans of the weird teams saying, okay, it's no this when it's in the league, and then it's complained about the level of opposition we face every week. There's obviously some elements to that, but at the end of the day, we should be getting used to playing these teams when that's 3 seasons on the trot with consistent Champions League football. I don't know why this is coming as a surprise to any of the players that some of these teams are fucking good. So, like, we obviously need to up our game. It's just, I think the thing that's annoying fans is because we had so much hope after the way the window ended. We got some players in. We thought, right, maybe we're moving in the right direction. We've spent this money, and I think we're maybe a bit annoyed that it's no yielding instant improvement in the Champions League against these big teams. If anything, we've stayed the same against like the likes of the elite teams, but we were talking about a chance to sort of redeem ourselves. What's our next 2 games? Atalanta, and then
it's going to get worse
Leipzig.
before it gets better.
They're not the games you want
No.
out of the ones we've drew to bounce back.
But there definitely is an aspect of, at least, just don't get shagged in them. You know what I mean? Like, fair enough, if we go in
Celtic in Europe,
like, if put it this way, right, I'm more than accepting that the next 2 games could very well be 0 out of 6 points. Very accepting of that, because most likely it's going to be. But see if it's like, I don't know, 2-0 and 2-1. Okay, fine, I'll have it, and then we look forward to the few games after that. Just don't get pumped.
I think that's what you're talking about. Like, it doesn't help that that's the next 2 games, because you fancied this draw before it even started. But I think the order that's come in just after that Dortmund, you would have wanted, like, well, your respect, like a Club Brugge at home, or just like young boys almost the way they've been playing. So it's like, it's a bit worrying, innit, if you like lose them and then you feel like you're out it before coming to the games that you can win. But hey, you never know. We just, like, I think we just need to reassess and just, as Roger said, they'd watch the clips as well, and just the players will hopefully regroup.
I hope he watches them enough. Fuck's sake, I hope he. Listen, you know me, I love Rodgers, but he does need to. He needs to sort it. He's the 3rd time he's conceded 7 in Europe, which is nuts.
That's quite crazy when you say it out loud.
I think he's the only manager to have conceded 7 in the Champions League more than once, and he's done it 3 times, which is not twice, 3 times.
Another treble in the bag.
I love the 4 about the game in general. Before we move on and all the rest of it, any points about Tuesday, about Champions League, about anything that you?
Why could Adeyemi have fucking done his hamstring 5 minutes into the first half and not the second one?
He was unbelievable, wasn't he?
He needs to chill it, man. Like,
that was just unfair.
The goals he was scoring was ridiculous as well.
That one that he scores for the corner of the box is just...
it's outrageous.
Like, you can say it's Maida's fault, but my God, like, he punishes him. It's just...
It's just it's so annoying again because there's no excuse for a 7-1, but like 2 of them are penalties. One of them's a very fucking soft penalty at that. The Adeyemi for the corner of the box is a freakish fucking goal.
All we were missing for the Celtic in Europe bingo was the red card. I was shocked we didn't end up.
See, as soon as we were doing like 4-1, I was like, "There's a red coming. Like somebody's about to lose the rag," and surprisingly, we never. So, do you know what? Fair play.
Progress.
Has everybody said their piece of it? Tuesday.
I think so. I mean, I can't. Well,
Calum's just like, fuck
think
this.
Just go on this.
Just see you nodding like that.
I'm just sick of stuff. What's the point?
What's your point?
Fuck out
Get
again.
me fucking.
Like my French, as you said earlier, Ryan, but you know, man. In fact, they're talking soft goals as well. The meaty deflection that took it away from Schmeichel,
I know.
I mean, no saying he would have guaranteed a save, but kind of dead with that.
Was it the first one as well? Like McGregor's, it's deflected off him and went right through. But
I know.
I think like, you know, I don't want to blame Trusty, but do you watch it back? I feel like
just him. No, just him, but Johnson. I think is just as culpable for it because both like McGregor does. I actually think what McGregor does is typically what you would call good defending because he gets the ball
really
away from the player,
and
it's just the fact that Trusty and Johnson, none of them take the advantage of going right. He's done the hard part here. Let me sweep it away. They just done the freeze.
I think another talking point is Trusty. I mean,
His career's done before it started, isn't it?
I know, but it was a bit deer in the headlights stuff. I thought I've maybe came a bit too soon in his Celtic career, but he spent what £6 million on them. That's the money we pay. You expect somebody to come in and be able to handle these situations. So I'm not going to write him off just now, but I think he's got a lot of Celtic fans to win over again.
Oh, yeah, he does. But I do have my sympathies for him.
I know you do.
Playing in his unnatural side, Dortmund, you know, there's a few things that I think are really unlucky for him. And listen, we all done this with Nicholas Kuhn, didn't we? We wrote him off, and turns out he had something wrong with his teeth.
Sore teeth.
So,
maybe Trusty's good.
Maybe Trusty. You never know what's happening in somebody's life.
Isn't he multi-footed, is he?
He's multi-footed. No, he's definitely isn't multi-footed, I'd say that. Anyway, that was Dortmund. So we'll be back to preview. Well, Calum won't be because he'll be in the Big Apple, as I've said. He'll be in New York. We will be back to preview at Atlanta. Is it Atlanta?
I know, it'll be like the way we've done that, man. Previewing the weekend and also
Atlanta. So we'll see how we're feeling by then. Who knows? Maybe Ross County's beat us.
what a cheating note.
Right, half-time quiz, I suppose, which is you this week hosting it, Calum, I believe. So yeah, we've got a half-time quiz coming up once again from our great quiz master from Qatar, Kieran. What was the last half-time quiz again?
Chris Sutton won it.
That was it. Chris Sutton. And they've got it.
Playing me fucking. Who was it that pure threw me off? Was it the Champs or
Oh,
something?
did he?
Deschamps,
Aye. Right, Calum, take it away.
So this one is a Who's That Tick, but there's 3. So everybody's getting their own one.
That means the tune can blare loud and
Good
proud.
Bill Larson.
Could be Larson, could be Duffy. Played for Celtic, now he doesn't.
Who's that chick? Who's that chick?
That was from one of my uni projects.
That's right, yeah.
For Liz. Wonder how Liz is doing.
You were telling him, he was like, that's a good idea.
Right, take it away.
Right, Dylan, so again, since you're still bedding into your first week, I'll let you choose if you like player A, B or C.
No, this again. I don't know.
Learn from your mistakes.
I kind of want to stick to B, but I'll go B again.
B,
Okay.
fine, and then...
Who won the quiz last week? Was it me?
No, it was me, because I took
Oh,
it in
that's
tie-break.
right, aye. So Calum, you can dash. Since you
just
dash
pick.
it, you pick.
That's right, yeah. C,
All right, Kieran's first then.
Good. Kieran, so for your player and Who's That Tick, he played with AIK. I'm going to give him the full pronunciation. I'll butcher it. Then moved to Celtic, and following that moved on to Istanbul Başakşehir. Probably butchered that as well.
So it came for AIK Stockholm or is it for...
Should be, yes. I'm just going to double check again.
Yeah,
Just my mind is
Stockholm,
going
It's
yeah.
there.
only IKEA, I can think of anyway. So.
Is that laughing?
There's that.
Is that
It's
is that EK?
Because I was fucking.
That's right, yeah.
Then we had the up the didn't matter.
and he moved to...
Istanbul Başakşehir.
Christ.
I'm stumped on that.
I know.
I want to get
That's
that.
a tough one. What is it?
Aidan
So
McGee.
yeah, sorry. AIK from
Yeah, okay, right. So Swedish team. Watch it not even be a fucking Swedish.
Somebody came out of my head, but I don't think it's right.
Actual, I have no clue. I'm trying to think of who would have went to Turkey after playing with us.
Try to think what clues I can give you.
Let's see.
Can I give it the year? Have we ever done that with him? Like when he played at Celtic?
Even if you give me like a time frame or something, like
So
Aye, you can give that wee clue.
yeah. So he signed for Celtic in 2011.
was he there for long, or was this like a?
So he was with us for a grand total from 2011 to 2014. However, during his time, he was also out on loan.
Oh, I've actually not got a clue. 2011.
Throw a name at.
Thomas Rogner.
It was Mo
I was going to
Bangura.
say Bangura. Fucking knew it was Bangura.
I'm pretty sure I put that
See
in
when
a
I
fucking.
see when I said I have a feeling, but I think I'm wrong. That's who I was genuinely going to say. Mo Bangura. Fuck you. I wish I took what you gave me, man.
Right, so come to yourself down. Played B, played for Brighton, then moved to Celtic, and then moved back to Brighton. And I also found it from my Google search. I share a birthday with this man. Did not know.
Is it? Yeah, I think it is.
I think I've got a name already, but I don't want to say it right away in case I should really think.
Have we got the same player? Aye.
Back to Brighton, so.
Watch us, hope we rang.
Am I allowed a year, even though,
Aye,
even though I might know?
So
Aye.
he played for Celtic between 2005
Oh.
to 2008.
I was thinking Shane Duffy.
I was thinking Kaya.
Oh, it's not him then. If it's
2005 to when, Cam?
So from 2005 to 2008, in which he also did complete 2 loan spells.
so he came to Celtic, was there for 3 years, and went out on loan twice.
Yes, but obviously the loan isn't the Brighton part.
Aye. A fucking waste of a career, that is it.
So his loans were to Coventry City and Colchester United.
Once again, I've got a name in my head, but I don't remember him playing for Brighton.
I don't have any names.
I don't know, but I didn't even think of Duffy. You still saying that.
I did jump straight in with Duffy.
I know, I'm
It was
like,
me.
don't get my ear. 2020.
I can't think. If I just said a name, just even though I know it's wrong.
Aye.
Gravison, but it's no good. I don't-
Is it, my guess was I think I'm wrong here because I think we signed him for Hibs, but I was going to say Derek Riordan.
It is not. It is Adam Virgo.
Who the fuck's that?
Played
I'm
for-
not picking B again, man.
Learn from a few time quiz.
He signed for us for $1.5 million. He remained on the fringes until Bobo Baldi left to play in the Cup of Nations, then came in and the man of the match in his second start.
Have any of you heard of him?
The name rings a bell, but I'd be lying if I said that.
Rings a bell, but I don't remember. That much, to be honest.
Never fucking hell. Right, okay, take it away, Calum. Give mine.
And yours, Ryan.
To win.
Yours plays for Standard Liège, then came to Celtic on loan,
On loan.
and then went to, I'm assuming it'll be Vasland Beveren. WAASLAND-BEVEREN. Sounds German.
Could you use it in a sentence? Gives the years as well.
Aye, give me 2 seconds. Sorry, I get him up.
So he came for Standard Liège,
Yep.
which is Belgium, and he went to somewhere in fucking Narnia. I don't know where that is.
So I will tell you where they're from just now. Sorry.
So he joined in.
They're Belgian, sorry.
They're Belgian as well.
They're
right?
Belgian, so yes.
And when did he play for Sellik?
2013.
Belgians that played for Celtic in 2013 is what my mind wants to go to straight away. But
Controversial.
oh God, this is Kieran's went right into the fucking stinkers.
Oh, they really had. This is 1 week. I'm glad I'm not taking part.
You must be. Fucking
We're Celtic, the questions are Dortmund, man.
they are quite genuinely. Fuck. I don't know, man. Who was that? Who was the two that had? Oh, do you know what? Lassad.
It was Vijay Tridic.
that
It was Rami Gershon.
Sean
Rami Gershon.
would never have known where he came from.
Played a total of 3 games with 1 goal.
I was pish. But I would never in a million years knew where we signed him for. Where he
Nah,
went
not a
after it.
chance.
Genuinely, so.
Would never had it.
Cheers for that, Kieran. That was good, aye.
Leave the one.
I'll make I was planning on getting back into the TikToks this week, but that's put a right fucking dampener on it.
We'll get fucking death threats if we go.
Anyways, we're going to preview the weekend very, very briefly, I suppose. We head to Dingwall to take on Ross County in a game where, quite frankly, Kieran, it's must win for Celtic.
I mean, every game's must win, to be fair, especially if you want to try and keep up this lead you've got in the league. I suppose it's sort of gone into it and thinking, hopefully, no European hangover. We've not had to think about that for a while, but hopefully, the way we've started this season, Rodgers won't let the players get sort of down on it. I've seen people speculating about what they think the team will be for the weekend. For me, it still has to be the strongest one gone out, especially going into the international break. You want to keep the players playing well, try to get them back playing well domestically. I mean, we talking about last weekend, we were phenomenal against St Johnstone. Didn't see 3 of the goals because I went down for a pie. Didn't get a pie. We had sausage rolls, but nah, it's just about getting back to winning ways, and you've got to have the confidence that we can do that, because the way we've been playing this season, bar Dortmund, has been unreal.
You made a really interesting point about playing the strongest team. 2 of our strongest players will be unavailable. Alistair Johnson is out. Cameron Carter-Vickers is still out. Calum, this is a really interesting game for the back 4, because some people have suggested for his antics on Tuesday, Taylor should be dropped, and maybe Alex Bally, who looked semi-decent when he came on the park, should maybe be given the nod. It's also another huge opportunity for Trusty, should he be given the nod. What's your thoughts on the back 4 heading into the game with the absentees, and would you drop Taylor?
See, I don't know, because again, is it just because of the one bad performance we jump on there? Oh no, get him dropped. Because I mean, we took it back to the Falkirk game. It comes on,
Changes the game.
It changes the game massively from left back. So I don't think I don't want to be too. There's a word for it, and I don't know why it's not coming to mind. But I don't want to base it off that one performance. I still feel like Taylor probably should keep himself going. If you want to rotate it a wee bit, because you think you're playing a slightly lesser opposition. And obviously give Bally a bit of game time. But then again, it's trusted. It's the big question mark for me. I wonder if Rodgers will look and potentially look at Welsh if available.
Welsh. Oh.
Not that I would like it, but...
Aye. It's an interesting point, isn't it? Because Taylor has had a great season. He's been really fucking good. And just because he plays one bad 45 minutes against Dortmund doesn't mean we suddenly bin him. But is it also the opportunity to give Bally a start? You know, is that the kind of thing that you finally give him? What would you do, Dylan? If you were the boss, if you were Rodgers?
Again, I keep saying it's a hard one, because I told you it's Greg Taylor. I like Greg Taylor, right? But it's like, I think, remember last season when in Europe particularly, it was like we've been crying out for a left back getting signed all season in there at the end of the window. So I feel like maybe we should give Valley a run out, because, like, I don't know. I would go. I don't know what I would do.
Do you think the plan would have been to play Valley if midweek never went so badly? But like, do you think that would have already been the plan, that we're going to give Taylor a rest anyway? But now if we did rest Taylor, it looks like we're dropping him because he was utter shite during the week.
I think realistically, as you've touched on, it probably is the point of, say we did come away from Dortmund a 3 or 4-1, you think, do you know what? It wasn't your night. You went out, you had a go at it, and then you say you drop him in. But I think result now, it looks very like panic stations. I feel like, no, it was a weak link, get him out there now and get somebody else in.
I know, I think that changes the complexion a wee bit, rotating the team, because then players are right, he's been dropped because he was shite. But if that was already the plan in action, because these things will obviously be planned. Obviously, the manager reacts to certain situations, obviously with injuries such as Alistair Johnson and that. Oh God, Ralston.
Yep. But you could play Valley at right back. But he's not gone, is he?
Can he play?
I mean,
right
he
back?
played
right back pre-season for
Aye.
Barca. So I mean, if he can date against Real Madrid in a friendly, I'm sure he can date in fucking Dingwall. But it's once again, will Rodgers do it? I don't think he will. I think he'd just play
Right,
Ralston.
just play Ralston. I think he prefers him. Just
I think it's just
get out
safe,
of the right
innit?
back. Aye.
Did score at Dingwall, didn't he? So.
Aye, exactly. He's got history up there. Ross County haven't actually been that bad this season.
No, I was going to say
Seventh in the
last three.
Yep, 7th in the table, unbeaten in the last 3 as Calum's picked up on. They were really unlucky against Hearts. And again, in the game against St Johnstone, I remember watching Sports Scene that night, and they were down 3-1 in the 87th minute, and they scored in the 87th, and they scored in the 97th to make it 3 each. So it's definitely a team who, I don't think Celtic, I mean, they only got beat 1-0 off Aberdeen. Yeah, Rangers fucking pumped them. You look at their season so far from the first league game, draw with Motherwell, draw with Dundee United. Their only 2 losses have been to Aberdeen and Rangers, the games that you would expect them to lose. So they're not a bad team. So, you know, it's not ideal having Johnson and Vickers, is it?
Nah, because you're gone up there, it's an arrow wee pitch.
It's freezing cold.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I was freezing this morning here. I can only imagine what it's like up in Dingwall, but I mean, it's always one of the ones where, whilst it has been a happy hunting ground for Celtic for the most part in the past wee while, it's still one of the ones you look at as potential, I know the pure football cliche, but a banana skin going into these fixtures. Like you can't go there thinking that a win's guaranteed. So, and it's weird that they've actually started this season already, considering how poor they've been with arguably on paper better players. I mean, they lost Yan Danda to Hearts in the summer, but now they're sitting pretty compared to where they were last year, and they've been in that sort of relegation dogfight. It's a long season ahead. It could still pan out that way, but they seem to have found a wee bit of a rhythm, and I hope that, I mean, I think they'll put up a game, but it's just about us playing our football, and hopefully the result follows.
Should we run through the potential team then, the way that we have the last couple of weeks? Schmeichel will obviously be in goals. I'll go through every area one by one. Dylan, what would your back 4 be?
So he's obviously going to go Ralston because obviously when Johnston went off. Can I just ask, what is your opinions on the Rocky? It's just like, what is that? Like,
I don't even know if you can establish an opinion on him because you've
No,
barely
see
seen him.
I don't have any negative opinion on the guy himself, but I can't establish any opinion because it seems that he's in one of the weirdest situations I've ever seen a Celtic player in my life. Because I'm still, I can't buy that Stephen Welsh is better than him. I refuse to believe that. So why the fuck is Navrowski never getting a go?
especially when we did pay like a decent, like was it 3 million? Like 3-4 million? But that's still quite a lot for Celtic as well. So, but I think I'll keep trusting Scales, to be honest. Like, I know they weren't the best.
I agree.
But trust these, like, I think the money you've spent, we need to keep him in, I think, and just hopefully he settles down
Build his
again.
confidence.
Aye, and then I think he will go Valley for some reason.
You think so?
I wouldn't be surprised if Taylor starts, but I think he might go Valley.
Just before I come to Calum for your midfield, just very quickly, what in response to Dylan's defence, the 2 years, would you agree with it or any changes?
Nah, I think it will be Trusty and Scales as the centre backs.
Okay, Calum, midfield 3, what would you think it'll be?
I don't know if I can see him sort of rotating back towards McGregor, Engels and Hatai. I can see it going back to that. Obviously, he's never going to drop McGregor. Don't drop your captain. He's walking with one leg. And then Engels again. I don't really want it to just be a case he's there and meriting it because of the price tag, as if we need to prove the worth of paying that for him. But I think it continues on, and then I think we see Hatai come back in. I think it'll be a fairly attacking performance for us. Fair
enough. Once again, I agree. 2 out of 2 for you lads. Well done. Kieran, can you make it 3 out of 3? What do you think the front 3 will be?
It's one of the weird ones because this is a game that I genuinely would have thought Ida would have started. I feel like it would be harsh to sort of slag off Kyogo for midweek because it was really a story of a lack of any service whatsoever. He can make the runs all he wants, but does this game up at Dingwall sort of suit the profile of Adam Ida better? I think the wingers will stay as you would expect with Kuhn and Maeda, but I think the striker one is where I'm really torn on who I think is going to start. I kind of want to see something, just to see it differently for the start of the game, but Kyogo's done really well up there. Even when they've been playing the low block, you've seen Kyogo score headers up at Ross County before, so it's like you can't count that out. Like, you can't count him out to bringing that side of the game, but I don't know, I've just got a feeling we'll see Ida on Sunday.
Fair enough. So you going Ida?
Maeda and Kuhn.
Okay. He's agree at the other side of the table.
I agree. I think he might go Ida as well.
Okay.
I think so. As Kieran touched on, it's not taking anything away from Kyogo. He's been brilliant, but as you know, like sitting in it, that low block and just sitting back. Even like the Aberdeen game, I might say as we're going through it, sure that was like the 95th or 96th minute as well.
Aye.
Something like that as well, they conceded.
It was Nisbet that scored.
Aye.
No, aye.
So it was that. So there again, like they obviously set up very well defensively to go and take results. So I think
Who is
definitely.
our manager is again in a minute?
I don't know, still. No Cowie.
Oh,
Is
aye.
it still?
Don Cowie, aye, that's
Cowie,
right, it is Don
I
Cowie.
knew it was towards the end of last season.
Aye,
but
Don Cowie, that's of course, aye, of course. His record's actually pretty good. 11 wins, 8 draws, 10 losses. I mean, 29 games and having more wins than the other two is pretty impressive for a couple of counties. So, yeah, definitely a challenge going up there. We'll see how it goes. Well done, lads. I'll give you an applaud because you went for the exact team that I had picked out in my head as well. So, congrats. Well done. Any final thoughts before we go to Twitter questions at all?
I think I've
From
spoken my
anybody
mind
round
quite
the
a bit
table?
tonight.
While I load up the Twitter questions, give me your Kieran's cooking corner, maybe.
With the uncertainty around the... Wait, what did I predict for the...
You said that St Johnstone is scoring the first minute.
That was because we were talking about that record.
Aye,
But, I don't know. I want a midfielder to score for outside the box.
McGregor.
Oh, fuck it. I mean, if Atati starts, I'm going to lump him on.
Lump him on. There you go. Get that outside the box. Calum, what's the first thing you're going to do in New York?
Don't know. I keep saying like something stupid like see like the big gulps, big
Aye.
stupid things for like £1.50. One of them, I think.
Do you like to do? Remember I was saying before the show for the Thunder Club, I wanted to do like something like, I don't know, a pure food related thing. Bring your suitcase full of American sweets. Bring me back a Pepsi. And Dylan, the news for you, mate, because you know what, sometimes we throw in just random things. It looks as though the UK is getting its pay-per-view next year.
That's right.
Elimination Chamber.
March when is it? Is it?
Aye,
It'd be.
Elimination Chamber.
Rumour is Manchester.
Manchester or Birmingham, apparently. Interesting.
An interesting one, isn't it?
I'll
Interesting.
probably be Manchester for that new arena, won't it?
Probably.
That's a good shout.
Handy. Because it's not going to be outdoors in fucking March. No. Pissing it off freezing, what I did to, innit? Right, Twitter questions. Let's bat through. We're about 45 minutes into the show. So we'll spend 10 or so minutes on this. Adam has given us his update. Ad the lad on Germany said he had multiple currywursts and unfortunately the kebab pie may be beaten. However, the cheese pretzels or whatever they were in the airport were sublime when rough. What is your favourite food you have tried when going abroad? And I'm glad that Dylan is a kebab pie stan as well. Favourite abroad food? Mine's is, I'm sorry to be boring, but mine is currywurst. It's like my favourite food, so I'm just going to get mine done and out the way quick. Kieran.
I'm trying to think of something like when we've been on holiday, like obviously like the gyros in Greece is stunning, but in terms of actual cuisine I've tried, I mean I tried it in London, so it's not really abroad, but a Venezuelan arepa, fucking unreal, but greasy as fuck, so I bit into it and the grease fell down and ruined the back of my jeans. So I had to go back to the hotel and change because we got to the theatre that night.
So we've got German, Venezuelan. Calum, have you got a favourite food you've tried abroad?
I don't know, the currywurst was lovely.
It's
First
great,
time
innit?
we went there.
It's a boring
Exactly.
answer, but it's just a fucking amazing.
Ah, it was lovely. It's so simple as well, but I
Aye.
think that's it, done it.
Got to say that. Dylan, what about you? Go in.
I don't know, see every time I go on holiday, it's like, it's dead boring. I always stick to the stuff I know, but
Aye.
I was at Bulgaria there and I like picked up what I thought was onion rings and it was squid.
Calamari.
Aye. And it was actually surprisingly I heavy liked it. So
It's brilliant, isn't it?
aye, it's really
I
nice.
put that in a burger when I was like 11 when all-inclusive in Benidorm, I think it was onion rings.
We all done the same.
I'm doing that at 23, mate.
I don't know when I was. We went to Magaluf in 2019 and a lot of us, right? And we were like, it was a buffet it was like all inclusive, and we had the buffet, and I went down. And I thought it was onion rings. I was like, oh, quality. And I'm sitting there, and I must have went through like 10 or 15 of them. And everybody's starting to come down. I was like one of the first two people come down. I'm like, I'll get the fucking onion rings. They're bagging, by the way. And somebody's like, Ryan, I'm a fucking calamari. I was like, alright. I thought they tasted a bit weird.
11-year-old me was actually baffled by it. I was like, have they fucking deep-fried rubber bands or something? Elastic.
Calamari's a shout, yeah. I like that. That's a good shout. So we've got I don't know where calamari originates for. It's
sea.
I did get it in Bulgaria, so just kid on it. It's just about- I don't know.
Bulgarian
German and Venezuelan, even though he's never been to fucking Venezuela. Cal says, do you think it stings more because we were kind of confident? Feels like previous results weren't this bad. But then again, I've purged them from my memory.
Yeah, I mean, we touched on that during that. I think what I spoke about my point of view about it was because on paper it didn't seem like the superstar filled teams PSG and
Neymar and Mbappe.
like in Barcelona and that scudded us. So I think that's where most of the heart's coming for anyway.
Dylan Matthew asks, well, ask everybody, but I'll come to you first, Dylan. Best Celtic goal you've seen in person?
Oh, in person. I think Nakamura's against Rangers got up there. See
Were you there?
it was like one of the first old firms.
The jammy dick, man.
No, but I try and get out of made those. We've seen a lot of screamers, haven't we?
That would win it for me.
I've got like a sort of outside the box shout. Scott Sinclair versus Albion Rovers.
Cracker.
Oh, what a finish.
Like it just everybody thought it was going out. And it
Oh,
was very a
for fuck's
surprise.
sake, I remember, like, because we were behind that goal. Oh, man. That's a
You
good
just mind Tierney's against Kelly.
That was going to be
I forgot about that there. That was just like, see when you watch it back, it's actually low-key ridiculous.
And the one we were talking about in Shams against whoever the fuck it was.
Thistle,
against.
wasn't it?
No, was it Thistle?
I think it was Thistle.
I think it may have been.
The Thunderbolt. I think it was.
That's up there as well. What
That
about you?
man loved a long show.
Yeah,
What about you, Calum?
I don't actually know. It's a good question. That's something you could do a full like sort of summer show.
Oh, aye, of course.
If football,
Aye.
you could just sit and go through them. No, just because obviously the way it went for the game, but Commons against Shakhtar Kanaganda.
Oh,
they takes
aye,
off Samaras
aye,
in the
that's a good
just
shout.
the touch and the ping. Oh,
That's up
definitely
there.
seen
I like it.
others, but
Aye.
go with that, man.
It's unique. I like it because I feel like we get asked that every like 12 episodes anyway. So like, it's good to change it up sometimes. Decky says, on a lighter note, the booze was absolutely sensational in Dortmund. Petition to get Kronbacher as the beer to serve in Parkers if the woke politicians finally lift the ban. I love the German state. Remember Schumacher out in Dusseldorf? Oh, beautiful, gorgeous. I want it. Dougie says, can we please just talk about kebab pies? Can it be asked with the team? You're going to have to, Kieran, how you feel? You've got to wait a while for your next kebab pie.
Fucking raging if I'm being honest. But I mean, how long then?
So it'll be
Aberdeen?
2 weeks on Saturday. It'll be the next time you get one.
Yeah, get myself with the butchers, man.
That's what it's like. It feels so long since we've had a home game.
I know. It was weird because there was quite a few in a wee quick
Like on the bounce,
succession. Aye, and now it's just fucking weeks away. I know, I'm done.
I miss them, man.
Just seen me that Kronbacher. Aldi's got a lovely version of it. Same one.
Did it what, Kronbacher?
Double lime.
Nice.
So they get like the end like Moretti, Peroni and that.
Ah.
Their version of that.
Oh, I'm going to have to go and get that a bash in. You'll have to send me a photo if you see it next time you're in.
Latte.
Which section do you sit in, Dylan?
1, 2, 2.
1, 2, 2.
1, 2, 3. I like 1, 2, 2. Aye.
Can you remember where it was? I remember asking you like last week. I just completely forgot. Kebab pies, blah blah. Aidan says, in the interest of goal difference, should we forfeit a game against Atalanta? Maybe.
For the
Was it
greater good.
4? Just walk off. Not free.
Free, mate.
Fresh score 4.
4 foot's 3-0, mate.
It feels weird saying like the goal difference is only -2 after like.
Aye.
It feels like it doesn't feel like it. I don't know, but you're forgetting it.
No, it's like the one thing that would have been class today would be like have a positive goal difference after the game, at least time we don't. David Turnbull saying, big shout, I think Valley should start on Sunday. Do you agree or disagree? Now we did touch on it. Take away your opinion of will it happen or not. Just totally yes or no answer. Would you start him if you were faced with a decision, Kieran?
Aye.
Calum?
Yes.
Dylan?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's 4 resounding yes. Sorry, Greg. But just a wee game half might do you good. Just get yourself back to, what's that phrase you say again? Sort yourself out. You know. Don't know why I forgot
Get
that.
yourself down the barbers.
Get
Get that hair out your eyes.
His hair's a mess, man. What's that about? Why is he got his hair like that?
Well, sorry, Greg, but your hair's a fucking mess. You're zeroing in.
Bernardo Boy says, one of the worst performances I've ever witnessed. Hard to disagree. Nathan says, is it wrong to go two-footed in on any? Is it wrong to go two-footed in on anybody because we simply aren't at the level? If it was due to lack of effort, we could find it hard. If it was due to lack of effort, we could find it hard to attack players for just not being good enough. So I think he's essentially saying, is it fair to go in two-footed on likes of Taylor and McGregor?
I think you can acknowledge that certain players never pulled their weight. I don't know if I would call it going in two-footed. Players are getting a bit more stinking than others, but I don't think you should be allowed to just get a free pass because, we're playing Dortmund. Like, you're a professional football player, you should be able to, I'm not saying you should be able to compete like, as a given, but like, you need to, I think we also spoke about effort levels as well in terms of tracking back as well, so I think there could be a point to be made there.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Thank you to Lennon and Roseanne. Your questions are acknowledged, but we basically answered them in the opening segment of the show. Liam McPhee, the big Kieran fan, says, Kieran, I'm also a brownie man, so I respect it. Anyway, lads, was just wondering what your top 3 beers are. Kieran, I already know you've got a belter of a list. Calum, I believe in you here. I've just stopped crying from Tuesday. Cheers for doing this. So, your top 3 beers.
Yeah. Well, Kieran, said you've got a topper, so.
Because you gave yours on one of the shows recently, didn't you?
I know, it's
I feel
fucking
like-
probably forgot. Like, I know
last
many
season.
Brea would be like the top one, but try to think what other. I mean, I've been loving Guinness recently.
It's a stout, Kieran. It's not beer.
I'm counting that.
I tried that, see that McGregor's one, the Ford's.
Ford's
I
Irish.
had that at Irish pub in the tunnel as well.
I've never tried that.
It's nice, by the way.
Is
aye.
it? Yeah.
Seen him fucking shadow boxing about the Emirates. Emirates pitch last night.
Could have took Shaka's near.
I thought you meant the fucking velodrome to do it. I was like,
Oh, Jesus, Connor, what are you doing?
what's that fucking doing there?
And I can't think of a third one now, so I'll just pass it on.
All right.
Hey, I don't know. A Proni's up there. Can't get angry with that. A Jubal. I'm loving a Jubal recently. And fuck it, got Guinness is in there. Can't
okay.
get angry with it.
Dylan, you got a free?
See, this might be controversial. I'm not really a big beer drinker. I'm really.
Oh, you cider.
Aye. So, sorry if that's a
You
controversial.
got a top
I
three.
do like some beers though. I like a wee Corona now again and that. And is it a Moretti? I like a Moretti. But
You have
and a
replaced-
dairy free.
You've replaced McGinley in that regard because he was a cider drinker as well. So
Aye.
you've taken that reign of terror for him. As I said, I put Tennent's in mine when I was asked because I don't care. I fucking love Tennent's, and if it was Italian, everybody would love it. So it's in my top 3. Peroni's probably in it, and Miller. I fucking love Miller.
Oh, you've been
I
enjoying it?
fucking love a Miller.
Fucking
Miller
love it.
Light, especially in America, it's just gorgeous.
Cruz Campo.
Cruz
I was
Campos,
trying to remember because we were drinking it in Prince Charlie
That
at the time.
Modelo's quite nice as well.
Oh, Modelo's
That's
bad,
nice.
I
man.
said that
That's
last
nice.
night if I've tried it yet.
That's nice. That's nice. Right, let's rapid fire through a couple more. I have a feeling that one of the SDs might run out, so we'll try and batter them.
Camera's not got an awful lot of hang on it
An awful lot of what?
time.
But SD?
I think so.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't think it's got long left. So let's rapid fire through some of these. Can we blame Ryan Christie for all 7 goals? Foot's in the new Adidas gear that came out today.
Track top's banging.
Yep.
Tap, I'm still, jury's still on.
I
But
love
the rest
both.
of it, nah.
I like a jumper. Aye. Probably get that.
Nah, nice.
good.
Calm.
Aye,
Adidas
right.
employee.
Need to say it so nice. Track tap's a cracker, as said. The rest of it I don't mind. I just think they've actually done a right bit. Long sleeve tap, I'm 50-50 on the now. And then obviously we're now in a elite club as the next season, aren't we?
Bit
our time.
Bit fucking time, innit? I like it all. I mean, I'll probably get the track top and the actual jersey, but I'm not going to bother with because I'm getting the. I think the jumper is nice though. The jumper is nice. I like that. It's the only. It's the t-shirt's nice as well, but what's the point in paying £40 for the t-shirt when the other stuff's there for a wee bit more. BLT or KF? What the fuck's BLT? BLT or KFC? Says Adam.
Well, I mean, BLT, I think bacon, lettuce,
tomato.
tomato.
But why would that be compared with a KFC?
Coffin baby versus hydrogen bomb.
That's such a weird one. Teddy Bear meltdown. I think we're fine against teams a bit better than this for a similar massive gap. We can't play like that. Yep. Basically touched on it. Valley touched on it. Thank you, Daniel. Top 3 Sellik pubs. Have we got not top 3? Anybody got a favourite Sellik pub? Ask Jake. Favourite in general.
No Gracies anyway.
Dylan, is yours Graces?
No, I've been liking the Caesars at Belgium.
No, I've not
That's
gone yet.
quite good.
Is it good?
Aye,
I've
I've
still
quite
not
enjoyed
been.
that.
I know there's one in Falkirk now as well.
Oh, is it?
Aye, there's 2 now. There's one in Falkirk, I know, but I've not been to any of them.
Aye, I'd probably say that if I had to pick. Aye.
I think I'd say what Prince Charlie.
the brig.
The brig, that's just a fucking brig, man. Answer. Do you think it's a massive doom and gloom reaction to the result? We kind of touched on that, didn't we? Thank you. Hail said, don't bother unpacking it, lads. Launch it into the void and leave the fucker there. All is not lost yet.
Wish we read that an hour ago.
Oh wow! Oh, CM asking a fucking hell controversial question. We can maybe bring that up.
For the Thunder Club.
Hey, well, we'll talk about that in the club. Well, and that's that. So let's get on to the full time quiz and wrap up today. If the camera conks on us, it conks on us. So we might go audio only. How much is left on it? Like 30 seconds.
My site's not what it used to be. It's either 5 or 15 minutes. So
5 or 15. Yeah, Thunder Club's going to be fucking. I said we wouldn't address it, but Thunder Club might be audio only this week, which is fine, which is okay. Right, okay. It's time for the. Kieran sent me a video on a golf course, it seems as well. Some VAR proof for the boys in green. I'll need to look at that later. Right, it's time for the quiz, and going off the halftime quiz failure, I'm hoping for some better results here. I'm just going to go, Dylan, since you've picked first the last couple of times, we'll let fate take its toll, and we'll let these two pick first.
Good.
Would you like set A or B or C, Kieran?
C.
Callum?
B.
Oh, you've been
Just
saved,
to get him off
Dylan.
B.
You've been
Yeah,
saved.
I was going to say, I'm going to up with B again.
I wish to make one.
Is it evilly made that it was actually my intention for you to take A so we can leave them with me? I've not seen the question, so who knows? Maybe B is actually nice this time round. Anyway, full-time quiz from Kieran today saying, currently making this quiz, trying a Hawaiian shirt for a boat party tomorrow. Tempted to go full Bray Wyatt, so we'll leave time for the panel to decide. Should I do the Bray Wyatt, Dylan?
I'm a big fan of that. It sounds like a good time.
Get a beard and everything on, 100%.
The wee hat.
Tonight's what is it? Is it a tribey hat they call it? I can't remember what they're called. Trilby, is that what it is? Tonight's quiz will focus on a man who's currently in Doha and spotted playing a wee round of golf by yours truly. That's why I've been sent the video. Super Joe Hart, currently in Doha playing golf. So there you go. Do you want an exclusive? Right, Dylan, since you're set A, question 1, are you ready?
Aye, there you go.
Question 1. How many clubs did Joe Hart go on loan to from Manchester City?
I know he went to Torino. Thank you. When he was at Man City. Was it Burnley as well? I'm just going to. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody as well. So
Don't worry about naming the teams, but just.
I'm just going to go 3.
Now, I would have got this wrong as well because I didn't realise how many it actually is. It's 5.
5?
I said 4
many
as
as
well because
5.
it's obviously had the
Tranmere, Blackpool, Birmingham, and then played for Manchester City for a long time, and then Torino and West Ham. He was at Burnley permanently.
Oh, that's it.
So there you go. So Tranmere, Blackpool, Birmingham, Torino, and West Ham. Unlucky, Dylan. Which means we'll test out set B, Calum. How many trophies did Joe Hart win with Manchester City?
1 second. Fuck. 5.
Correct.
Ah.
Well done.
It was between 5 or 6, but
2 league titles, an FA Cup, and 2 league cups.
League Cup
There you
I
go.
wasn't, I think. No. But
Correct. Good start, Calum. Could you go for 2 in a row this week? See. Kieran, who did Man City beat to win Joe Hart's first trophy as a professional player? So it was obviously a cup final, wasn't it? A league title.
I'm trying to think what year it was that they class. I don't know. Birmingham.
No. Did anybody else know the answer? I wouldn't have got this. I completely forgot this.
the only cup final I can think of wins and Wigan beat.
Well, it was Stoke City in the FA Cup, and it is the game. It's decent.
Is that who they played
fuck's
that
sake.
day?
Played Stoke in the final.
Cutlass has got to kill me, man.
I don't know why. I just assumed that was.
So
Excellent.
Calum has an early lead. See, I knew that was at Wembley because.
Yeah,
you
I
could
knew
see
it was Wembley, but I had no
Wembley,
fucking clue they were playing.
Question 2. It's England related, Dylan. So, true or false? Joe Hart has more than 80 caps for the English national team.
He had a good spell at England as well, like the 2012.
Yep.
I'm just going to go true. It's false, isn't it?
It's false.
Is it 75?
75 on the button. Yes, correct. Well done. Unlucky, Dylan. Unlucky. Calum, question 2. Joe Hart made his England debut against which Caribbean side in 2008?
Jesus. I hate question C.
I was going to give you a clue, but we'll give it away. So I can't give you it. Pass.
Is it Trinidad
It
and
is
Tobago?
Trinidad. My clue was going to be Kenwin Jones. So I was like, but that would get away too easily. So it's a chance for Kieran to equalise. Kieran, how many major tournaments did Joe Hart go to with England?
4.
Correct. Well done. South Africa 2010, Euro 2012, Brazil 2014 and Euro 2016. Correct. Well done, Kieran. It's 1-1-0. Dylan, to get yourself off the board, cast your mind back to Ange's first season because it's Celtic in Europe for your question. Who did Joe Hart keep his first European clean sheet against? It was a qualifier.
Was it AZ, that 2-0 game?
No, yes, Jablonec.
Oh,
yeah.
the 3-0. Oh, my God.
Yes, you're in the right round of fixtures as well. It's
Just
the right round.
every crowd celebrating since he makes a
Save, that's
So hang
right.
it
That's
sticks
right.
in the head.
Calum, to get your second right, how many games in the group stages did Joe Hart? Oh, yeah, right, okay. I was like, I thought this was one of the questions. It was like open to your own interpretation, but it is. How many games in the group stages did Joe Hart win for Celtic across both the Champions League and Europa League? Because at first I thought he meant like how many did he win with like a save, and I'm like, well, that's up to your interpretation, really. But across both the Champions League and Europa League, how many games in the group stages did Joe Hart win? This would take me an eternity, so I don't blame you.
I've got an answer, but I feel I'm forgetting.
I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I don't know where. I've not got one right over. I'm stuck between 2 or 3, but
Go on, say one.
2.
Still went with 3.
3.
Correct answer's 3.
Fucking nerves between.
It's 3 because it was the 2 games against Ferencvaros and Feyenoord,
Aye.
and obviously didn't play against Real Betis.
So never
Aye.
Scott Baining goals. Isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
so 3 games. Unlucky, Cam. Really unlucky. You're still on 1. Kieran to take the lead. Joe Hart played only 1 knockout tie against Bodo Glimt, home and away. How many goals did he concede?
5.
Correct. Well
And
done.
he wore a fucking jacket under his tap away from
So it's 2-1-0
But that, aye.
on to question 4. So it's still possible for anybody to win.
beating before a ball was kicked. Man.
Dylan, Celtic versus Rangers is the topic. What was the score in Joe Hart's Glasgow Derby debut?
His debut.
So was
Sure he-
Ange's first season?
I'm sure he played the 1-0 defeat.
Yep, he did. 1-0 Rangers. Correct answer. Well done, Dylan. You're off the board. Calum, to get your second correct, true or false, did Joe Hart ever keep a clean sheet at Ibrox and Celtic Park in the same season? That's like, why? That is such a like, you would have to, if it was, aye, it's just hard. 'Cause you have to go through fucking every game. Just adding some dramatic effect for the Spotify listeners that don't have a fucking clue what's going on. Start singing something. Eh?
True.
It's false.
False.
He didn't. So Kieran, if you get this right, you win.
Yeah.
So are you ready? How many times did Joe Hart beat Rangers? Was it 7, 9, or 10? I love
9.
quizzes. 9. It was actually 10.
Oh, wow.
So
I just didn't want to be there.
it's still open. It's 2-1-1, which means if Kieran gets his last question right, he does win. But this is big questions for you two to keep the game alive. Question 5, Celtic overall is the topic. Dylan, of course Joe Hart wore the number 1, but he didn't originally. What number did he wear? Didn't even need to finish. Look at that. Look at that. That's assertive. There you go. 15 is correct, which means it's 2-1-2. Calum. Joe Hart won how many trophies with Celtic? The number questions are your downfall, aren't they?
I fucking hate them.
How many trophies altogether? We covered all of them on this podcast. Every single one. Well done us.
Pat in the back.
Gonna have to push you for an answer, Cal.
I don't know, between 6 and 7. But
Come on, you've got it. Think, man.
I don't. My head's going fucking blank to the first season.
And just first season, how many trophies did we win?
Gonna have to push you for an answer here, Cal.
7.
Yes. Come on.
It was it was that first season. I'm trying to hang.
The pressure's getting to you, man.
Cup.
You knew it. You knew it.
Double, treble.
Double.
Aye, it was a League Cup. And then I remembered it was a fucking Kyogo double.
So, Kieran, to take the win, or to take it to sudden death, Joe Hart made over 150 total appearances for Celtic. True or false?
Oh, you fucker.
Just say something different. Tiebreaker on
This
this.
is a
Get it wrong for drama, Kieran.
Okay, I'll just say true.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner of the quiz this week is Kieran Auld.
I feel like I
Because
remember
the correct
seeing,
answer is 153.
I feel like I remember seeing like a graphic being put up on like the social
So
series.
there you go. Congrats, Kieran. Well done. You fucking spoiled the drama, didn't you?
We'll review what the tiebreaker
The
would have been.
tiebreaker would have been, and don't think about it, just shout a number, and I'll go Kieran to Dylan. How many career appearances did Joe Hart make in his 20-plus year career?
574.
603.
650.
Dylan would have took the win because it's 705.
I was underestimating the man.
Yep,
Aye.
705.
I thought when he had that spell towards the end, and he just wasn't getting a game anywhere. Hampered him down a
that
bit.
makes
Come on, because the moral cup.
Right, thanks everybody for tuning in. We're going to quickly segue into the Thunder Club. So if you are watching that, we'll see you there. If you're not, go and sign up for the Thunder Club and see us over there because we want to get out of this place by past. So thank you, good night, and we'll see you next time.